Connecting a lawn sprinkler system to the main PVC pipe. Question: which method is better? There are several different schools of thought, or at least two that are prevalent in the industry. One may be an older method. Two may be a newer method. So one may ask, how is this done? Basically, there's a CPVC. One has the cutter. There's not CPVC. Let me correct myself. PVC. Difference between PVC and CPVC. So correct myself. We take a 1-inch piece of PVC pipe, whether it be Schedule 40 or PR 200. One may ask, what is the difference between Schedule 40 and PR 200? Schedule 40 may have a thicker wall, so it may it may have more meat on the diameter. However, if one gets a leak in the system, once the leak is in the system, it can be a little bit more cumbersome to repair the leak with Schedule 40 pipe, although it is thicker and probably it is a good quality pipe. But notwithstanding, if you have a break and you have to pick the pipe up, it's not very pliant, which means simply, in layman's terms, it's not very bendable. So the old school method that one used to use, perhaps in the day, would what they would do if we were doing a sprinkler system, one would cut a pipe and put a fitting like so in here. And as one notes, this fitting, this is a 3/4 inch fitting. This has 3/4 inch female threads. So we would cut the pipe here, insert this fitting here. Okay, the old school method, some of the old school irrigation guys used, and do keep in mind, it's easy to be nitpicking on certain things, but sometimes jobs are performed according to the technology available at the time. Let me reiterate that. Sometimes jobs are performed with the technology available at the time. Contemporary technology may dictate that this is the way to do it because it's only part. However, as we grow, we age, and times come out, new inventions come out, new ideas come out, they seem to make our life sometimes more simple, perhaps even more complicated. It depends on the situation. However, old school guys would cut this pipe here, insert this fitting in here, and actually take something and actually screw the head directly to this. Now, I'm not fond of this method, although it did work for many years for many people. But notwithstanding, now I have come to jobs where I have taken this method and used the same pipe because the customer did not want to spend a lot of money, and cut and then put this fitting in and then added the funny pipe to it. And one may ask, what is funny pipe? This is funny pipe. So then the poly L would screw into here. The funny pipe would connect onto here. Okay, then on the other end of the head, there would be another poly L, and then the other poly L, one end would screw into the oscillating head. So basically, step 1, cut your pipe. Step 2, glue in your fitting. Okay. Step 3, screw your poly L in. It may be just as well off to go ahead and screw your poly L in before you do it, so you don't get dirt into the system, so you don't get dirt around these threads. Okay, step 4 is put the poly L on. So old school method would actually hard pipe this directly onto here, put a head, it would be sitting up like this, and the head would be sitting up like this. New school method would cut the pipe, put the fitting in, and now new school method would probably be something along this lines. This head would probably be sitting this way instead of straight up. Then the poly-L would go in here like so. This way, you're not hitting it with an aerator machine or whatever machine you're using. Then the funny pipe would go here onto here. The other end of the funny pipe would go however many, 6 inches, a foot, however many, then another poly-L, and then the head, and then this gives you the latitude to move the funny pipe. So again, let's reiterate real quick. The old method would stand straight up. There would be a barb in here. It would screw in here. An attachment, the head would screw onto it, and it would stick. Sometimes you could break it or break it off. It just depends. New school method, you would actually put the poly-L in here, cut the pipe, or if you're doing a new install, you would have the end of the pipe, so you technically wouldn't even have to cut the pipe. You just glue it, stick it here, glue the other end, stick it here, add the poly-L, put this in, put another poly-L, which is this gray thing here, put it on the end, so you'll need 2 of those, screw it on, screw the bottom of the poly-L into the head, and then set the head over here somewhere, over here, it depends, because this will swivel. You'll want it tight enough to where it doesn't leak, but it will have ability to where it could swivel somewhat. So this is old school method versus new school method of putting a lawn sprinkler head into your when installing an irrigation system for residential lawns. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.